Normally, we like to run down what's happening in the DC world, but stuff is coming at us left, it's coming right, it's coming dead center at us. As we're speaking, we're writing it down. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Welcome, everybody, to DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and
Do you know that there's an intro song? Is it Super Friends or is it the same one?
Meanwhile,
It should be on the board.
Sorry, what? DC Movie News, we're coming at you. We got news stories coming left, coming right, smacking us upside the head. We can't even write it down. It's happening so fast. Stay tuned.
welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Justice League. There are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Super.
Welcome, everybody. Here we are. DC Movie News, the explosion. I hope you understood what I was saying there, guys, because usually we do a rundown at the top of the day and we got our top stories, but we got so much news. I got smacked in the face this morning with the Black Lightning trailer, then the Mara picture just popped me in the front of the head. It's coming at us all over today.
You got your butt kicked there.
You darn right I did, by DC Movie News.
Twitter
And
kicking Mikey Christmas's
if someone's
butt.
going to kick my ass, I'd like it to be DC.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have my ass
We
kicked by
know.
DC.
We know.
Of course we do. Welcome, everybody. DC Movie News. Here we go. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Kalinowski. You can find me at Mike Kalinowski all over the internets. And now joining me, now we got to come up with a name for Elena here.
Yeah, I like
you
the
being the
crown
crown jewel,
jewel.
because you're here now. You know, you're here more than any of our guests. So I'm saying we got to think of something. I
we
don't
gotta
know
have a
what.
name.
I don't know what it is. We'll open it up to you guys.
Roxy already did.
Well, Roxy.
Elena, bring the pain of
Yeah.
Jordan. Yeah, but it's not DC specific enough.
Yeah, like Roxy is our crown jewel.
We need like.
I'm Mikey Christmas, although you're kind of Roxy Hanukkah now. We'll think of it. We're going to think about it. But on the very end there, we have the very lovely Elena Jordan rocking out the classic Wonder Woman look going on
Yeah.
here, which is going over great. I feel kind of left out. I don't have a costume on. I just got the DC shirt.
What?
Well, it's good.
These aren't costumes.
It's not costumes.
But they
these
kind
are
of,
clothes,
they kind
bro.
of rocking. It's kind of like a costume thingy.
It's an outfit.
All right, Roxy, it's an outfit. It's kind of a.
It is an outfit.
I hear
I'm wearing a
people
dress.
often tell me
I
I
know.
like your costume more than I like your outfit when I'm just like out shopping.
See?
They're like,
They're like, I like
great.
that costume you're wearing, lady. Your costume
that's
looks
you.
good."
Are you-
No, that's like the older ladies
Yeah,
that
but
probably
that's
see on the
literally
street.
what you just did.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, but not
Either
like in the
way,
voice.
it's a compliment, so I'll take it.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
belated
you.
birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
What'd you do to celebrate? Anything fun? Anything DC-ish?
I know. I just ate a gratuitous amount of cheese.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cheese, huh?
Yeah, I went to my favorite Mexican restaurant out here, Salsa and Beer.
Did you
Just
blow a
across-
candle
That's the
out
name
on
of the place,
cheese?
Salsa and Beer?
I did.
Yes.
They brought me out a giant thing of queso and put a candle in the center because I love
I don't like
cheese
queso.
so much.
I don't like
Me
queso
neither.
that
I love it.
No.
I'm not a queso
Part
person
on
either.
everything.
Joining me, though, who
see-
doesn't like cheese. What's up?
Senior Nerd says, Alana, the Wonder Lady.
Okay,
We're
it's in the
working on
running.
it.
We'll work. We'll think about it. But next to her is the crown jewel of DC movies, Miss Roxy Striar, a.k.a. Roxy Hanukkah.
Roxy
L'chaim!
L'chaim, L'chaim to life. Before I forget this, because he's awesome and he wrote the TV Time theme
Yes,
song.
he
and
did.
honestly, I don't want to forget because it's a special day to celebrate for Matt Vollmer. Happy birthday!
I think it's his 40th, I believe he said it was. His
Happy
40th.
Hanukkah!
Happy Hanukkah? What?
Hanukkah. It's not Hanukkah yet.
It's not Hanukkah.
No.
Just happy birthday.
No, okay.
It was my 30th, so there you go.
Whoa!
The 30th, 40th. Happy birthday, Matt. Thanks for being a part of our show and adding to our show with that awesome theme song. But let's get into it. A lot of news happening. We got a lot to cover here, guys. Now, on our rundown here, usually we all of us get together throughout the week and throw stuff up there. And Roxy had this new little trend of adding little addendums to the thing. So our top story that we've got is Justice League Reshoots have people worried. In quotes,
No.
not Mike. Never
Never
Mike.
Yeah, in parentheses, not
parentheses.
Mike. Never Mike.
Which I like, and I agree. Okay, so this kind of
I hope you know I don't mean it as a shot at you.
I take it as a compliment.
Right. Good.
But we'll say this. There is a lot of sources out there, maybe have bigger audiences than we do currently, but we're on our way, that, have whether it's a bias or whatever against DC. From me on this panel, you will never see a negativity towards DC. Even when things like a Suicide Squad doesn't do what we want it to do. I'm not going to speak negative. There's too much negativity about DC out there. I'm going to be a source of positivity. On this panel, we could disagree at times. Mr. Gertler and I like to go toe-to-toe. But from me personally, but that's a great thing about this show. It's a counterpoint. It's point and counterpoint, should we say?
Yeah.
We agree, we disagree, and we love each other. But so, okay, now this kind of came up. There was, because I got into it with the head of this website. I think it's called Splash Page, Splash Film, Splash something.
Okay.
That he was the guy, apparently he
You're
was
not
the...
talking about Slash film.
No, not Slash.
Okay.
It is Splash.
Got it.
This is the guy that broke the Rogue One reshoot rumors a year and a half ago. He apparently was in charge of this. So it's one of those, I can't say the source, he's a friend of a friend in the thing. He is a friend that's in the Justice League that have basically said Justice League is undergoing reshoots to the point of, from the start of pre-production filming to the end of filming, they've basically shot 2 different films. Now, I instantly went against this guy. Maybe a little. Twitter is tough to talk about because you've only got, 140 characters, and sometimes maybe your tone comes off as crass, and I probably was very crass to this guy, and he was not as crass back to me, but we kind of had this going back and forth. This was the first person to say this, and the only reason it has credence, and now it's been picked up by bigger sites, was because he, I guess, was the guy that did break the Rogue One rumors. But on that, I'm thinking, like, okay, is it the same people worked on Rogue One or working on Justice League, which I don't find to be true, because both movies were shooting pretty much similar, because Justice League's been filming for a while now.
Wait, Mike, what are you getting at? What are you saying here?
I just don't believe this. I think it is...
You don't believe what?
That there are rumors of reshoots. Rumors of reshoots happening... Reshoots happen on
Reshoots
every
are
movie.
happening.
Every movie.
Wait, so, okay,
Yeah.
to clarify.
But the fact that...
But you're
that-
saying there are rumors of reshoots. There's not rumors of reshoots. There's reshoots that are taking place. The rumors are what those reshoots
Right.
are about.
I don't think they're happening yet. I think the movie's still a ways away. I think Momoa's filming Aquaman, so he's not coming by for him. Affleck's working on another movie. He's not coming by for them. Gal's doing press for Wonder Woman. She's not going to be there. And if you're reshooting the movie for massive reshoots, don't you think your 3 biggest stars are going to be there right now filming it?
I think
The things don't line up. It just doesn't add up. We got to use deductive reasoning like the world's greatest detective, Batman himself. Things do not line up. Reshoots will happen. They will, absolutely. But are they happening now to redo the movie almost completely over? I don't think so.
You guys have to talk while
Okay,
you guys-
girl, I was listening. I know it's important. Guys, what are thoughts? I'm hogging the conversation here, ladies.
Okay, here's the deal. Yes, you are, sir. In a good way.
I guess I am what?
Hogging the conversation.
But that's why I'm deferring to you ladies now.
Here's the deal. Like you said, Mikey Christmas, reshoots can happen for a plethora of reasons and happen on most films.
Yes.
Now, I think that you just used interesting logic to explain why none of these people could possibly be involved, just because Gal is doing
A worldwide press tour?
A worldwide press tour does not mean that at no point she could do reshoots for this film that's not coming out for another
I get what
6
he's
months.
saying, though. He's saying she wouldn't be able to refilm an entire movie.
Okay.
Which is
If she came in for a line.
Right. If you're going to go do pickup shots,
Yes.
second unit
Right.
things and pickup shots are very, very different than doing a full reshoot of an entire movie.
I agree.
which-
Nobody's claiming they're doing an entire reshoot. What people
Well,
are
they
claiming
are.
is
That's
that
the problem,
what people
is
are
that's-
claiming. Wait, let me get through it. What people are claiming is that they're restructuring, not reshooting the entire film, but they are restructuring, which
Okay,
would
so
mean
is
that
it-
they are reshooting multiple different aspects of it. Now, am I under the same camp? No.
Okay.
I just like to explain what the actual news
That's
is.
why we
so
love
I'm
having
trying
you
to
here.
say I'm trying to say that is what people are bitching
Well,
about.
the direct quote that they said from Splash Report, they said...
Splash Report.
Splash Report. They said that speaking on a condition of anonymity, their source said that in the 17 months between the start of principal photography and the final cut arriving in theaters in November, the film will have essentially be remade twice. Which
okay, so
doesn't
what do you think
necessarily
remade?
mean that it's been reshot twice.
Right.
Because honestly, there have been many movies that have gone through dramatic cuts that are
100%.
then, because basically I think what the problem is that this source at Splash is
Right.
taking their actual source and they're reading into what seems to be very little that's being said. Because most movies are essentially made, they are remade twice.
that's-
They're
All
right,
remade
I'm
4 or
gonna-
5
Let me interject real
no,
quick.
No,
One
Roxy
second.
first, because I'm going to piss on the chat right now. Because here's the problem.
Oh, okay.
People like Ken saying, "Here we go, Roxy trashing DC again." Did you not just fucking hear what I said? I am explaining the news. I am explaining what is out there and why people are upset. Did I say it was my personal opinion? No. And this is the problem. Every single week we are DC movie news, so I'm going to tell you what's out there. Am I bashing DC? I'm the biggest
Guys.
DC fan. I love DC. I dedicate so much time to DC every week to explain to you guys. So it's infuriating.
That-
Sorry, now you can go. But I'm so
no,
annoyed.
to Roxy's
every
point,
week.
Roxy, guys, I do read the comments at YouTube. You have to understand, I know, like, when I don't show up, people are like, where's Mike? Where's Mike? And I'm a
it's
different taste. I'm a
ridiculous.
different taste, guys. Some people say I, suck on the DC teat too much. Like, I'm too much in favor of it. Whereas
Maybe
Roxy
the
is
milk
more...
tastes really good to him.
Right. It's
It
a different
might.
counterpoint. Roxy and I were just talking about this, of how excited we are for Wonder Woman. Everyone on this panel loves DC, so it's just varying degrees. And we'd be a boring show if we were 4 hosts like me. It would be a very
I'm
boring
not even
show.
giving
even
my
the thing
opinion.
is-
I'm just telling
Right.
Literally, Roxy has
But
said,
to
I disagree.
Elena.
We are all on the same page. We all think
Right.
the exact same
Yeah.
thing, which is that
Anyway.
we all think that this movie is going to be good, and that the idea of that they are saying that reshoots are somehow indicative of a horrible film, or that there's
Right.
no lack, or that there's a lack of focus, or there's no direction. That is completely untrue. We're all on the same page. We all agree that.
It's my
Roxy
brief-
is saying
it was my brief
this
little
is
moment.
what-
You're
yeah,
allowed to
no, I
rant.
got
I
it.
can rant. You can rant.
I get it, because you're explaining what the
Roxy
other people are
Hanukkah
saying,
rant.
why it is news, why we're talking about it, why if we all agree, there has to be an opposing viewpoint. Otherwise,
Yes.
To go
why
what you
talk
said,
about it?
Elena, and I explained this to the Splash guy.
I got you,
I tried to
girl.
explain
Yes.
it to a couple people at the Splash Report. A movie in the industry is shot 3 times. It's when it's written, when they shoot it on photography, and then in editing.
And then like 9 times
Right.
in editing.
And editing,
depending.
they're almost as important as the directors. That's why directors are so a part of the editing process, because they could take what was scripted and make a completely different movie. So the fact that we're going to get a different movie, I mean, look at the ultimate cut of Batman Superman. That ultimate cut, it is like almost a different movie. And that's stuff that was edited in
and that
just
doesn't mean a
you know,
bad thing. I
no.
know. Look at classic example, friggin' Jaws.
I mean, look at
Look
Hey.
at Jaws,
Or
where
more
everyone
importantly-
said this is gonna be like, look, this has been, it's all over the place. What is gonna happen with it? And then it comes out and it's the biggest hit ever. So it's like, cool your jets, let the editors do their thing. Wait to crap on a movie until you get to see it at least.
if anything, look at the guy that or what happened before, Rogue One.
Exactly.
We got a great film out of it,
Rogue One
whatever
is
happened.
amazing. It's so good.
So, that's that, guys. Take it what you will. Again, now, people have come out and debunked this. Whether you like him or not, he's a very kind of polarizing character. Humberto Gonzalez with the rap, he's come out saying, nope, this is not true.
This is the quote. There has been no additional photography to date on Justice League. We have planned and will shoot additional pickups early summer. Additional photography has always been planned, like
Right.
most pictures in general, but certainly for a tentpole of Justice League size and scope.
All right,
Exactly.
let's move on.
Yep.
Point done. Next on, Roxy had wrote, if we want to keep up the Wonder Woman ad convo, let's keep it going.
This
Because
is when I'm gonna get real passionate.
now this morning, which was great,
Yeah.
Elena sends us a mass text going, hey guys, here's some pictures of all this massive marketing of Wonder Woman. And I was in my car driving down Barham, which is going from, if you guys are in here, it's coming from Burbank. I come into Hollywood. Massive Wonder Woman billboard that was Disney. Like, I think it was the Disney Tower of Terror, the new Guardians of the Galaxy thing, was up. Today it's Wonder Woman. So it's everywhere now.
It is everywhere. And this is, so everybody is saying, and I just have to say, like, feminists, I am one of you. Like, but calm down, because this isn't a problem. It's really not. It's really not, because people are saying there's no marketing. We're not seeing it. If you are already going to see this movie and they are directing all of their marketing to you, that is wasted money. Having it expanded out to different people who might not necessarily see this film otherwise, that is a smart use of your marketing. And because we are seeing things that have been unprecedented, we're seeing marketing that is completely focused on one character, which, you know, everybody, again,
Agreed.
I'm going to keep harping on Mad Max, because that is, I think, the one that everybody is like, oh, but it needs to be advertised like Furiosa, like think Furiosa. And I was like, that was advertised as a Tom Hardy movie until after it came out.
Until we came out, because then we saw what a great character she was in, and you're like, ooh.
And now they're saying, we have faith in this character before you even see it. This is a good thing. And considering everyone is saying, we saw Suicide Squad everywhere, why are they not doing Suicide Squad level? This is the thing. Suicide Squad, 5 weeks out, $2,645,643 in marketing. That's how much WB spent. 5 weeks out for Wonder Woman, $3 million.
And
to
to go off of Suicide Squad, that was people were saying the Joker was on everything. He comes out, everyone's like, where's the Joker?
Exactly.
So it's like, don't use that example.
Marketing. It was marketing that was basically just thrown haphazardly out that said,
Joker,
look,
see our movie, see our movie.
It was bright colors. It
And
was
further making your point, too, from Adweek.com, they compared when the trailers were released and also the TV spots. Wonder Woman released at San Diego Comic-Con 2016, 11 months before film release. Suicide Squad at San Diego Comic-Con 2015, 14 months from film release. Batman v Superman, 11 months. Justice League, 14 months. So
and guys,
it's right
I
in
think,
line.
So you have to understand, like, think about it from this way. We always talk about WB, the missteps they're having, and we want them to learn. But all these trailers, we have not seen the big bad yet. We've seen little glimpses. They've learned. They haven't done a Doomsday Wonder Woman drop reveal. They haven't shown that the great moments.
The fact that they're even
they're learning. DC is learning. WB is learning.
And they're also doing a lot of event marketing. Like the fact that WonderCon had the huge billboard that was just Wonder Woman that said WonderCon, and it looked like a Wonder Woman billboard.
Right.
And that then you go and you see hundreds of little girls to grown women to old ladies to everybody dressed as Wonder Woman. Patty Jenkins there, just this whole event, everybody get hyped.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a focused marketing effort. I feel like it's great.
We don't have this on the thing, but I need to talk about it. But we've got something first. Remind me, Wonder Woman.
Do you want to talk about it now?
No, because this links into it. Next, going along with marketing, because here we go. Now
this is where we're going to disagree.
This, boys and girls,
I know,
get ready for
I'm gonna try to play mediator here.
Time. Ding, 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 let's get ready to rumble.
We already had this virtually.
I know.
Via
Okay.
Facebook, so
here we go.
Roxy,
So
you're literally in the middle.
Okay.
I'm a little off balanced here. I don't have someone else backing me, but
I'm gonna try and stay. I'm gonna because I've already lost it once today.
Let
me talk about what's happening before you guys give your opinions on what's happening. Wonder Woman has linked up with Think Thin. In case you guys don't know, Think Thin, some places are describing them as diet bars, other places are just describing them as not protein bars, but health
meal
bars,
replacement,
supplements, that kind of thing. So there is right now currently a debate about this team up for a plethora of reasons, which they are going to explain, but that's the background information you have to have. Wonder Woman and Think Thin are paired together for advertisement purposes.
Happened about a couple weeks ago, right? Because then you brought it up. I had seen it, and I think you brought it up on your Facebook, and I chimed in.
Yes.
So, who should go first on this one?
Okay.
Because my stance, I think, came off as I'm for it.
I guess Mike should go first.
Okay, I'll go. I'll say it from this point of view. Let me say this because I know you're probably right. I know you're probably right, but I see. Okay.
I like starting with I know you're probably right.
I want to say I know you're probably right. but I'm seeing it. I'm looking at it from a marketing standpoint.
Okay, so wait, just now stopping for a second. Elena thinks that this is a bad idea,
Right.
and
This
Mike
is
thinks
a
that this is
terrible idea.
fine, good. What's the word?
I don't see a problem with it because
Mike
I
doesn't see a
know
problem with the
I
idea.
know how marketing works. I've been on the other end of commercials and auditions, and I'll give you an example. I was part of a commercial. It was for a supermarket chain in the South.
Good
And-
for you, making that money.
Yeah, and it was 4 families. We had 4, just husband, wife, 2 kids. Dinner table set up. They would come in, they would shoot the family, camera would swirl around, bring in the other family. But for every family that sat down, they had a family, it was all like blonde-haired, blue-eyed. They sat down and they had like a turkey and mashed potatoes. They had a Latin family sit down and they had tacos, enchiladas. Then they brought me and my wife, we were both dark hair, and we're looking around like, what are we then? And they brought down spaghetti. I'm like, oh, the Italians. Then they had an African-American family sit down, and
Fried chicken.
fried chicken.
Yep.
And they were like, we're not mad because we know where it's marketing to. It's a southern chain of supermarkets. All of us, the Spanish family didn't get mad. It was like, and I'm like, I'm Italian, but I was like, I don't think my wife's Italian here. But it's marketing, and it's people in rooms that.
But at the same point, I
Okay,
feel like
that's where I
there
see
is-
it
Wait,
from.
wait, what's the relationship between what you're just saying? Bring it around full circle. What are you
That
trying to say?
there are women in middle America that want to go, that they see the diet trends and they're like, oh, I can look like Wonder Woman if I eat these bars and I eat healthy and I work out, I can look like her. That's the
Okay.
mind. That is
Okay, now
Okay,
Elena, go ahead.
So this is my counterpoint.
Okay.
Just because marketing exists doesn't mean that it shouldn't be properly tailored to what I feel like going
Okay.
back to Justice League. I mean, not Justice League, but going back to what we were talking about Wonder Woman advertising
Okay.
and how it is now being tailored kind of more at demographics that might not necessarily see the movie otherwise. I think this is an instance where they have really missed the mark because one of the main complaints about Gal herself was people said she's very thin.
Right.
She doesn't represent the, what we've seen of these Amazonian women, of what we have seen from our comics. She is a very svelte Barbie-esque character, which is not necessarily what we're looking for in this character. I don't necessarily feel that I agree with that. I know that she, really
She put on.
strengthened up
Yeah.
a lot, and now she looks
Sure.
more like the comic.
Yep.
I feel like she would have done probably a good job regardless.
Right. Yes.
But that being said, if that is one of your main complaints,
Okay.
don't then have thin attached to your marketing for the health incentive.
Okay.
And then on top of that, if you're going to push this character as somebody that is strength driven, partner with GNC, partner with other
Okay.
actual muscle health things that are
All right.
not,
Now-
because the marketing for Think Thin up until this point has been the figure of the silhouette of a very
Pause for a
thin.
second.
Okay.
So, just for clarification, this argument is not about Gal's size. It's
No.
not about whether she is
No.
too thin or not thin enough.
No.
It's about the fact that Wonder Woman is a strong character, so thinking thin doesn't necessarily match
Represent
up with
that
what
character.
Am I understanding your
Yes.
argument correctly?
And also considering that the fans used the word thin as a negative, as something they were worried about Gal playing that,
Okay.
do you really want to heighten that in your marketing campaign to say, yes, she bulked up, but then don't worry, after Wonder Woman's done, she'll eat these bars and she'll get thin again.
See, I don't.
That's what I feel.
I don't think it's like. I know there's
And
a
I don't know
big
that
time.
I don't think that is the intention.
Right.
But I feel like having a character that is supposed to represent strength, and then you're going to say that it's for health and strength and body positivity.
Yeah.
But then you're going to say be skinny, be thin, use this as a meal replacement so that, you have it not necessarily to replace for health reasons, but just because that'll cut calories and will make you tinier.
Well,
I don't
okay.
like that mentality.
So one final mic response, because then we have to move on.
Okay, I will just say this. This has been going on for a couple weeks now, and the campaign has not stopped. They've kept it going. So obviously the marketing company's like, it's not affecting our sales at all. People are still buying our bars. If it was affecting them negatively, they would have stopped
They
that
would
and
have
dropped
stopped,
it.
right.
So they're not. So I think
it just is one
people
that
in
you
middle
see
America
it
that
and you
watch
go,
Honey
"Oh,
Boo Boo
come
and
on."
the mom that lost so much weight, that's that different market that
But I would say
they're
that
reaching for.
the argument isn't about whether it's working or not. It's about whether it's right or not.
Right.
Right, and
It's about the mentality and
Okay,
the image
okay.
that it's portraying.
Moving
out.
on.
Okay.
So those are the two
More so
sides
than
of the
selling
Wonder
things.
Woman Think Thin
Yes.
argument. You guys have been asking about it. There you go.
Yeah.
Pinkberry is delicious, and I'm all about that. So
Cool.
Wonder
All
Woman
right.
Oh, yeah.
Pinkberry, yeah.
Love Pink.
Well, one last thing on Wonder Woman, so I want to talk about. So some of you guys know that I do the Collider Schmodown, and that's kind of all different, big news story guys in this room. Well, I was at hanging out with some guys the other day. There were 2 screenings of Wonder Woman on the WB lot last Friday, like an early morning and an evening show. So, guys, this is not coming from me. I didn't see it. These are guys who have really criticized the DCU in the past. They, on 2 separate times, saw me separately, said, guys, one guy's like, I saw the movie, DC finally got it right. He goes, this was a fun, the humor's there. He said, Gal and Chris's chemistry is phenomenal.
Yay!
He says, Patty Jenkins, and this speaks to her as a director, took Gal, because a lot of people have problems with her acting, whether it is. And I think she is a actress that needs to be directed. Like, look at Natalie Portman.
Well, I think less people have problems with her acting, more people have problems with not knowing what her chops are.
Okay. Well, they say not to worry. She gives such a heartfelt, endearing performance in this, and they say it's to Patty Jenkins that's able to bring this. I mean, look what she did with Charlize Theron and Monster, what they can bring out of an actress. So 2 different guys who are not DC people, they actually bash very heavily on the past films. They've been wanting DC to strike it good. 2 different people said it. They said a great that I love was this would be a great feature with Raiders and the Rocketeer. See the 3 of them as a triple billing. I go, that to me,
That makes me very happy.
it's that adventural, serial, 1930s, 1920s action. Like, that to me, I was like, that is everything I want in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So I just want to
love
say that.
hearing
So it's out there, guys.
Speaking of screeners and people seeing this, what I will say is that Mike and I, probably Lana too, are all on the Warner Brothers email list.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're doing screenings, we get the email. I have never had a more difficult time.
It was...
for the rest of Warner Brothers films, if you're like 15 minutes, an hour, you'll click on it, you'll get to go to the screening. This was within 60 seconds. The screenings were 100% full. Everybody wants to be the first person to see this movie.
Yeah.
Every single person. So I think that that's a pretty cool sign.
Yeah.
That I got the email, I clicked on the link, and I'm in the waiting list. And I could not have physically moved my fingers faster. So that's pretty cool.
And how do you guys feel? Because they have said, they're saying the embargo is not going to lift to the 31st on these reviews. Now, everyone's seen it, and they're wondering, and I'm curious about this, but someone made some good points. Force Awakens did not release its embargo till 2 days before. I don't think WB is worried about the bad. I think they know the buzz is building. I think they don't want spoilers to get out.
I think that's what it is, too.
I think there's so much in there that we don't know. And I
rarely
look at
think that an
Kong, that
embargo
movie
is a
Kong.
bad
I finally saw Kong. Every good thing in that movie was seen in every single commercial and trailer. I saw that movie, I'm like, this was lame, because I've seen it already. I think WB is on top of it. Do not worry, guys. People have seen it. That's all I need to say on that.
Okay.
You want to go on that next? What's this thing on Dolph? You take that, Roxy. I'm not
It's
sure.
Elena.
Elena,
It's an
go
Elena
for
thing.
it.
Yeah, sure. Well, we've talked a little bit about Twitter and how
The tweets.
the tweets can kind of be some ways that people are able to get around NDAs. And, some people have said basically that's nothing. But we have one instance where Dolph Lundgren back in November.
Dolph?
Yeah.
That
Tweeted
must be
a
ridiculous.
very interesting tweet.
Good old Dolph.
So he tweeted it. You're saying so this is back in November that he tweeted it.
Yeah, let her say. Back in
Well, she's
November.
pulling up the computer. I'm just
you're
like,
stalling for
I'm
time?
stalling for time. I was trying to play it off like we knew what we were doing here, but it's seamless. But Rox, you interrupted me.
I think it's still seamless.
Is it now?
It is.
I'm pretty sure
Is
we've
it
nailed
seamless?
it the whole time.
I see no seams.
There we go.
I've got no seams to hold me down. Get it? Strings.
like it.
I got it. I got it.
Anyway.
So basically, Dolph Lundgren, I can't pull it up here, but it's
That's all
pretty
right.
much, he said, Dolph is short for dolphin. Swim with me to my
Here.
underwater paradise.
It says Dolph is short for dolphin. America, follow me to my underwater paradise.
And everybody was basically like, why did he say this weird
Oh.
thing? But then people were, tweeting weird things back, like, oh, here's like movie posters of, him training a dolphin and whatnot. But
Cut me a
then-
blowhole. I'm in. Thanks, Dolph Lundgren. That was my first LOL in many hours. You are everything.
But it's so out of character, so people are like, where did this come from? And then later we find out Aquaman, which would be around the time that he would start having talks, probably.
Okay.
Which is why some people are now saying, hey, this was probably
That was
a
his
little hint.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because it also just got not debunked, but I called BS on it 2 weeks ago with the Josh Gad Penguin bullshit.
Yeah.
I reached out to everyone on
Some
Twitter
of them
that
I
follows
do
me.
think are
I go,
just
guys,
intentional
stop
swerves."
giving these people Stop being suckered into. Let the actors have their fun. But
I like getting suckered in.
do you?
Yeah, it's fun.
But I don't
like
fall
it.
for it.
I don't take it too seriously.
I don't fall because you don't fall for it.
I just like to.
Oh, there we go.
there's-
Yeah.
That's what he
it's not
tweeted
that I
out?
fall for it. No, the image
No.
isn't something he tweeted. The
Oh, that
image
was
is
someone that
something
did?
somebody
Somebody
Okay.
just responded with that.
The reason I like it is because I like to start thinking of different actors in different places. It's not
Okay.
because I look at it legitimately. It's because I'm like, oh,
But-
I wonder if he'd be good.
See, that's great, but most people's like, oh, this has happened, and then big websites take it, and you're just like, no, God, stop getting suckered in for clickbait BS.
Yep.
That
But
Roxy,
then
your
there's
way's fine, but the
also
clickbait
actors
BS.
that will.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this. I'm gonna put it this way, ladies. Let's say myself and I were one of 5 for Green Lantern in Justice League. We had, we were gonna be the secret reveal at the end. Do you think I would, of those other 4 guys that I'm up against, would tweet out something like a picture of myself as Green Lantern? Because then think about it, because then that gives a chance for the internet to go, hell no, he'd be a terrible Green Lantern. He sucks. Then the people on the casting side go, oh, the fans are not taking with him. Okay, let's take him out of the running with these 4. Why would you jeopardize your chances?
Because some
You
people
wouldn't,
don't
you
have
wouldn't.
that mentality
I don't.
too. And
I
then there's
don't. I
some
think you're
people
dead wrong on
like
that
think
one.
like Donald
Are you-
Glover, who has tweeted out like, "Hey, I would be interested in this," and then and then gotten other things from it.
You know better than what you just said, Mike. You are
No.
Mike.
If you're in the
pause.
ru-
Let me talk. You are a reasonable, rational human being.
I am.
A lot of actors are not, and I'm saying that and being part of the camp. I'm not
Okay.
judgmental.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people get ahead of themselves, and the first thing people do when they're up for something is tweet something out like, "Just saying, I think green looks really good on me. Just saying, a ring would look nice on my finger. Just say whatever it is."
Right.
A lot of people do dumb shit.
But I'm
And
saying
then
actors of
also-
caliber that reach that level should. They
don't-
wouldn't.
we
They
don't know
wouldn't.
what
What
that
they
level
should
is.
and what they.
If
Look
Tyrese
at
ends up,
Tyrese.
if
Look at
Tyrese ends up
Tyrese.
as Jon Stewart, I will do whatever the two of you want me to do. If Tyrese is Jon Stewart in the DC
But do
universe,
you
I
not
will
think
do
when-
whatever.
but do
People
you
are
not
going
think
through
he's
their
at that
PR
level?
artists.
He is at that level. He is at that level. Whether he becomes Jon Stewart, which I don't believe,
I
or
don't
not,
know if he's at that level.
He's at that level.
He is
certainly is.
He is a figurehead that is part of the Fast and Furious franchise. I don't think, and with that, he gets a certain audience that a studio would love to have his audience part of their brand. It's kind of like, yeah, I get it, but no.
All right, we have so much
Okay,
news
I know
this
we
week.
got to get
have
going.
to move
So,
on.
Flash.
Yeah.
This is big news.
All right. Well, here's why this is near and dear to my heart
Trace.
too.
What? Oh, continue.
What's Trace?
Trace directors.
Oh, Trace.
It's Spanish for 3.
Uno dos tres.
There we go.
Do you guys remember that we talked about Zemeckis 2 weeks ago? I think
I think I know where this is going.
with Andy.
Andy.
Okay.
Signor.
Yes.
Screen Junkies.
So
yes.
Screen-
and
okay,
I need to
this
give
is-
a big screw you the rap that said no, not happening. And Screen
okay,
Junkies.
so,
no.
let me explain what happened.
Yes. This is
So-
bull.
So Screen Junkies News, Andy Signor
Yep.
came out and he said, "Listen, Zemeckis is in talks to
Yes.
direct The Flash." The Rap came out
Instantly.
and said, "That's absolutely Umberto.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not the case. He is not in talks. That is not what's happening. There's other people that are in talks."
He had a meeting.
There was a meeting. He's not in talks. This is bullshit. And then The Rap 2 days ago tweeted, "You heard it here first. Exclusive.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Screen
Zemeckis
Junkies.
is in talks to direct The Flash."
And then it.
Baffling. And
Did you
Andy
see-
tweeted back being like, "What are you talking
Did
about?"
you see the semantics? He's like, no, they were not talking. If Warner Brothers goes to Zemeckis, hey buddy, in 2 weeks, can we sit down, talk about the Flash? That's in talks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Rap is like, no, they were not at the WB property sitting down with contracts in their hands. No, now they are, so that's talks.
That's
no.
why they have
think
the
it-
whole
if you go,
conversation
hey-
of what it
BS.
means to be in
And it-
talks,
In-
and then
that's what
yeah.
it came down to. It was like this dick measuring contest. No, Screen Junkies, which I'm not a part of, so I have
Yeah.
no vested.
And
they
I am,
had it
yeah.
first.
They broke
It-
it.
it was
and
just
the
like
Rap-
Andy
broke
it's
it.
only
Give him the
because
credit,
they
man.
then said, "No, you're wrong," and then came back and said, "No, you're right, but we said it first."
I just,
Give
you know,
Screen
I like,
Junkies
I
credit.
like Umberto, but at the end of the day, you can't claim that you have the exclusive on something that
No.
you debunked. That,
It's
it just doesn't make
because
sense.
of a wording of what your definition of talks is and what someone else's definition of talks is. If Warner Brothers said, "Hey, man, this is off the record, buddy, but you and I, let's sit down, let's come in, we want to talk about the Flash with you."
Right.
That's in talks.
In talks. Literally in talks.
Because you're talking. That's what happens. Screen Junkies, top of the... Yes, absolutely.
I
Give him
know.
credit. Umberto has broke tons of scores.
Tons of things.
And he's a DC guy, and people
Screen
give him
Junkies
credit.
has given him credit
Yes.
thousands of times and had him in. I just thought that
give
that was
them
whack.
the credit,
Yeah.
man.
That
Give
was
them the
whack.
credit.
Not
I'm
just
glad.
'cause I
Thank
work
you
for
for
them,
bringing that up.
but-
I forgot about that.
Yeah, crazy.
But so now it does come up. He's in talks. We have 3. We had Zemeckis, Raimi, and Webb.
Well, the Raimi and Webb ones were debunked.
Was it
saying that
debunked or they said they turned it down?
Sorry, not debunked, turned down.
So they were in talks at one point.
Yes,
Probably 2 weeks ago.
Previously
2 weeks ago.
had been in. And that was interesting to me. Were you guys
Raimi would
surprised
have been
to hear?
an interesting choice. Mark Webb, you and I both are fans of his Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
So I would have been okay. But Zemeckis, to me, that's just such a interesting choice.
How do you beat Zemeckis?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
He's created some of the biggest classics of the 80s, like and 90s. He has such a visual style and dynamic.
And people are saying that the film that least makes them sure that he could do this was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's the film that most makes me
Are you
sure.
kidding me?
I'm like, that's the film that makes me know he
amazing.
100%
Yeah.
could do this.
But like now he did Death Becomes Her too,
Yes.
right? Death Becomes Her. That was a movie you guys probably
Incredible.
a lot of you don't remember this.
Incredible.
But visual effects at the time, you didn't see something like that. The way that they did the head turning and stuff. That was so
Even Back to the Future,
And
revolutionary.
the candelabra through
Yes.
her stomach was a huge,
Yes.
huge thing.
To know that man knows how to work with visual effects, but also with great
That's the
character
thing,
and
with
story.
Them going back to, and with Aquaman really focusing on practical effects. This is
Yeah.
why I'm like, okay, they are finally getting it right. They're going
Yeah.
back to the basics. They're going back to focusing on story,
Yeah.
letting it be less CGI, seeing who has the bigger computer, who has,
Yeah.
and more of who has the better idea. And I love that. I think that this is a great
I
move.
hope this one goes through. I really hope Zemeckis.
I love it.
Yeah.
Who could be better than him? I literally think that if you ask me who should direct, he's perfect.
Yeah,
I think he's perfect for it.
But then again, with directors, you never know because look at oh god, the guys that did Captain America, both Captain Americas, the two brothers. Guys,
second
that's
you ask me
terrible.
anything.
That is not Hughes brothers.
No. Yeah,
Russo brothers.
there
Russo
we go.
brothers.
Jesus.
When I heard they were doing Winter Soldier, I'm like, who? They directed Community and Civil War or Winter Soldier is still my favorite Marvel film. So it's
Really?
like, yeah,
I love that film,
absolutely.
too.
So directors I give much more of a leeway with.
I'm
it's
stoked.
more of
I
like,
think
hey,
it's
if I don't know your
genius.
work, let me see what you got.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this goes on with the Flash because we have been backed up so much. First, it came out that Billy Crudup had stepped away from being Henry Allen, but he's in Justice League as Henry Allen.
And then it came out that he
Now
hadn't.
it said no, he's not. He's still attached
Yeah.
to the project. So, quick thing: Henry Allen, Billy Crudup is still our Henry Allen. Hopefully, this gets going soon because he's in the Flash.
Why did it come out that he wasn't?
I think because the schedule kept getting moved and he's got other things. It's like a chessboard. He's like, I want to
Yeah.
film here. I got to film here. This one you're going to film. I can't be available. But again, that could lead into Justice League reshoots. They might have to reshoot all the Henry Allen stuff if he backs out. That's why there's reshoots.
Exactly.
Just saying. Okay, do we want to talk on this? The Rock talk Superman and Black Adam fight. Do you guys want to take this because it feels like more Rock, Black Adam?
I mean,
I'm kind of like
we've talked a little bit about them, and who knows, like Johnny sitting here is Swervy McGurvying all day long.
Yeah.
But what he said was, this is coming from Digital Spy.
I like them.
One fine day, that's coming. That's in the cards. That's regarding a Black Adam
Okay.
face-off against Superman.
I enjoy The Rock, but to me, he has such become a personality. To see him, he would have to lose himself so in that role. I would almost like to see a smaller version of him. Like, you know when he puts on weight, he gets massive?
yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost like to see him change his body, get a little
But
smaller.
for Black Adam,
He
he could be huge.
See, I
This
would
is-
just like
Yeah,
to
that's-
see him be the new face of Think Thin bars.
Yeah, me too.
All right, hey.
Me
There
too.
you heard it. You
This
heard
is
it
the
first.
second part of the quote. Definitely going to happen. We have a really cool surprise for Black Adam that I can't reveal in terms of where we'll see Black Adam being introduced. Interesting.
Can I just say, I'm sorry?
I was thinking about this the other day. Not 100% relevant, but a little bit. I think he's the biggest movie star in the entire world.
Absolutely.
I would say the number one.
He's the highest paid right now.
I think he's the number one biggest movie star in the entire world.
I'm going to debate. I'll go against you, and I'll just say Tom Cruise is.
I was thinking about that too.
Tom Cruise.
I was having literally this conversation because my boyfriend is the biggest Tom Cruise fan of all time.
Bigger than me?
He had a whole Tom Cruise theme. He had all of his birthday parties are Tom Cruise themed.
All of them?
It's psycho stuff. He loves Tom Cruise.
Does he like him as Jack Reacher?
Anything, everything.
Okay,
Like,
him and I need to talk that.
lives for Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
I didn't know that.
But I still think The Rock is bigger
I don't think so.
internationally.
No, I think Tom Cruise. I think
No.
Rock might be bigger
No.
in the United States, but I think Tom Cruise is internationally bigger.
What do you think?
I think The Rock. Well,
think The
currently,
Rock.
I think currently The
Currently.
Rock, and I think maybe after the Mummy
Pull up the
comes
numbers
out,
there. We got to pull up the numbers and
after
find
Mummy
out.
comes out, I think maybe Tom Cruise will surpass him. But I think
Because
right now,
I
at
think
current
Baywatch will
standing-
do good in America. I think Mummy will do great internationally.
But
I think Mummy will.
Mummy
I
will
think Mummy will
kill.
bump him up. I think Mummy will probably bump Tom Cruise up.
That's
over
why
The
Tom
Rock, but I
Cruise
think
is what
currently
he is,
The
because
Rock
his movies don't do.
were you here for a conversation about Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat?
Oh my god!
I was not, but I love that movie. It's a
Live, Die,
phenomenal
Repeat.
movie.
No.
Repeat.
Did you hear the title for the second one? Live, Die,
Live,
Repeat,
Die, Repeat,
and Repeat.
Well, they screwed it up by calling it Edge of Oblivion. They shouldn't have called it
Edge
that.
of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. It should have been.
Yeah.
See, exactly. It should have been called Live, Die, Repeat.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on.
Well,
so
I will say.
yes. No, please continue. I don't go.
I was just gonna say, kind of
gonna
going
say.
off a little bit of what we were talking about earlier, and talk a little bit. I'm gonna stop harping on the think then bars. I will. I will
right.
finally stop. But
No, go
I
ahead.
will say, if you do want a delicious meal,
Oh.
because I know The Rock is constantly talking about being health conscious.
Yeah.
And
Rock wants
he
to smell what's
actually
been cooking.
sends out-
Yeah.
Yes. And what's been cooking in my house recently has been some delicious meals from Blue Apron.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, I am a huge advocate for Blue Apron. I think they are absolutely great. They are the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the entire country. Their mission is just to make incredible home cooking access to everybody. They're great. They have a cheese. They've really, they have sustainable food source system. Everything is fresh.
And
it's
you actually
delivered.
use them.
I love
Yeah,
it.
me
They had
too.
a
I
cheesy
love them.
grits
I'm
thing that
obsessed.
was awesome.
What are the upcoming meals? What do they have
They
coming
have some
out?
really good stuff. They have a beef teriyaki stir fry with some sugar snap peas and lime rice. That one
Yes.
sounds amazing.
That sounds so good.
That one sounds so good.
I'm
Baked
hungry.
spinach and egg flatbread with sautéed asparagus and lemon aioli. The flatbread I'm all about too. They had like a beef wrap last week that I
Oh,
made.
yum.
Oh my gosh, incredible. It was so good. And yeah, 3 cheese and baby broccoli stromboli with tomato and oregano dipping sauce, crispy salmon and roasted potato salad with pickled mustard seeds.
And their salmon is so fresh. It's, just so good.
It's
I'm
so
obsessed.
good.
Yeah.
It like leaps right out of the water and onto your plate. So
Yep.
Oh.
it is absolutely delicious. And
right out of the water.
if
and
you
onto your plate.
guys want to check
Aquaman
out
beats
this
it.
week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping,
Damn.
That's
Yep.
you can't beat. To me, it's
Yeah.
like
Why not try it?
Why not
it's
try
like
it?
on everything in life, but shipping free for this, that's like
I got hooked.
huge.
I tried it and was like, this is incredible, and it's the best food and totally worth it. So
Cool.
it's super good. So if you want to try it yourself, you can go to blueapron.com/movie news. Get your first 3 meals free with free shipping. You'll love how good it feels, tastes. It's incredible.
you can impress the ladies.
Yep.
Just throw stuff away. Just throw the wrappers
Or the
away. I'm not saying
fellas.
I've done that, but or the fellas, yes, but I don't
Yeah.
entertain the fellas with a meal for 2.
You might.
There you go. I invite The Rock over and be like, this is what's cooking.
If The
You
Rock
were
was coming
smelling it.
over, you would do it.
Of course I would.
This
You
is
would
what
be
you smell.
confident enough in your own
Of
cooking
course
skills.
I.
You
If I
would do
would,
it.
of course I'd have.
So one more
So
time.
yeah, so just blueapron.com/movie news.
awesome.
Absolutely delicious.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah.
Who you smell when the Rock is cooking?
There you go.
How's that thing?
It's an upcoming
That's for
fight
you,
that we
Johnny.
have.
This one's
It's for you, Johnny. All right, so
Johnny chilling. Well, actually, am I allowed to say where he is?
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you couldn't not say what it is.
I mean, he's
It's
been
Afghanistan,
posting
right?
it. It's Pakistan.
No, he's in
Pakistan.
Pakistan. Well, he was going to Afghanistan. Now
Yeah.
he's in Pakistan. I think
Yeah.
he's performing for the troops or doing
He's
something.
performing
Being like a
stand-up
good
out
human
there,
being.
Yeah, he's so good, man. And I think Adam is still on a mission to serve all of the German sausage.
I think he's just eating all the sausage around
Yes.
Germany. I think that's what he's doing.
Unsure.
He said
Unsure.
there will be
Or
no
in London.
sausage
Oh, is
left
this
in
when he's
Germany.
doing movie premieres in London?
He's
Or is
doing
he
the Alien
sausaging
Covenant,
still?
but the trip to Germany, I think that's just a trip. I think he's doing the Alien Covenant press thing, which
All
is
right.
coming up. I think it's
Well-
this weekend.
Regardless, if you want to keep up with them, you guys know you can find them at Adam Gertler and at Jay Quasto.
Yes. Affleck talks playing Batman. They're talking a little bit about this. Now, I just need to say this because I know there were so many people on certain websites that were like, Affleck hates being Batman. He wants out. No. He was going through a ton of crap in his life. A divorce, rehab. You know, that's got to affect you. I know, Roxy, if you and I get into a fight or something and I got to go to work, I'm in a bad mood. That's that.
Okay, this is what
Can you
I
imagine
tell-
going through a divorce
This is
and
what I tell my
alcoholism?
friends all
Oh
the
my
time.
God.
This is what I tell my friends all of the time. What's different, and not like woe is me. I get it. We're in the entertainment industry,
Right.
and we're lucky that we even have this platform. Let alone if you're Batman. That being said, when other people across the country, across the world, are in a crap mood, they go to work. They put their headphones on. They put their hood over their head, and they do their work. You cannot do that as an actor. You are performing all the time, and you have to be on. So when you're in a bad mood, you just have to pretend you are not. You don't get
so
to
what are you
hide.
saying
So
to
I'm
that?
saying it's very, very challenging. So he's
Oh,
in a
yeah.
bad.
Oh, you're sticking up for him.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
saying
Yes.
He's in a real. How am I not? He's
I
in a
didn't. I didn't
really-
know if you were sitting there going, "Yo, Ben, put your cowl on, put a smile on your
No,
face."
I'm saying
Okay.
it's really challenging.
Yes.
Other people, when they're having a bad day, they get to have a bad day. Ben Affleck doesn't get to have a bad day. That's what we've told him as society.
only have a bat day.
When he can only have bat days, and if he's
And
on
you have
camera, he can't be Ben. He has to
crew
be
But
bat.
how many times do you hear these movies? Production is shut. I mean, what was it? I think on the TV show The Last Ship, the actor on there, he's dealing with depression, so the production had to shut down.
I would
That's
much rather have
hundreds of
somebody
people
step
out
in
of work.
beforehand, exactly, and say, "I'm not up to this right now. I don't want to put everybody else in jeopardy."
Right. So Ben
I
Affleck
think
is pushing it through.
Here is the
Good
quote
move, I think.
that he did say. He was earlier talking about how he's going to be doing something without the Batman outfit, but he's just going to be doing the voice. But the thing that he said about playing Batman, he says, it's a lot of fun. Batman is such a serious, heavy character. There's a temptation to be funny about it, or at least self-aware. I really enjoy it. Obviously, it's a character that means a lot to a lot of people, and I'm having fun playing it.
I think he's just going through crap right now, and I think it's gonna get worse
Cut the
because he's
man a
gonna
break.
have press coming up and this and that. But I think once we get clear of Justice League, once his personal life settles, and Reeves and them start figuring the Batman out, I think he's gonna be in a much better place.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
And all the
personally, because I can't imagine going through divorce
And
and
the
dealing
live
with
by
that
night
stuff. I
stuff.
don't even deal with stuff like that. I could not imagine. I know what a tough breakup does to me. I
Yeah.
can't imagine what an addiction and your marriage, kids. I don't even know. The fact that he is not losing it in public, yelling at paparazzi and stuff, that he's still kind of keeping it somewhat focused.
Yeah.
So that's
Let's move on to Aquaman.
Let's move it. So today,
Yeah, this was huge.
dropping. I was getting ready to text you. You text me. It's
Yeah.
Mara. In all her glory, she looked like she stepped off the comic book page.
I will pay somebody.
Look at that.
I will pay somebody $2,000 to find this costume.
Oh,
for me.
you'll-
exactly like
You'll
this.
have that.
No, but
made.
like this.
Oh, let's look at it. It's like fish scale.
I need that. I need to
Can
wear
I
it
say?
every
I thought about
day.
this. Do you see how it kind of shimmers? Do you ever like when you get a fish and you kind of up close?
Yes.
The scales
Yes.
on it, kind of
Yes.
different colors. That's what it looks like.
It's perfect.
Brilliant.
It's
Perfect.
She looks amazing. This picture's awesome. Thank you, James Wan, for
Look at the
tweeting
color.
it out.
The color. The vividness.
Yeah.
I
so
love
there's
it.
a lot of fans responding to this, obviously, with some very funny Aquaman. I dig it emoji.
Okay.
I mean, not what's it?
Oh,
not
the-
emoji meme.
Oh, the
GIF.
Aquaman is like, oh,
GIF.
just like a bat,
You know,
huh?
they've
I
officially
dig it.
come out.
Yeah, I
and
dig
said,
Yeah.
it. Like saying
Okay.
I dig it, or just funny pictures of Momoa like screaming.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so perfect.
I love that.
love that.
We didn't expect it. It just popped up in the internet.
Yep.
From James Wan. He was the one that tweeted that out. So again, great.
She
Looking
looks-
great.
she looks so
We got a
good.
couple new Wonder Woman posters.
Yeah, we had an international one, and we had the
Whichever-
Lasso of Truth
who's the Lasso
poster.
one? Is
The
that-
Lasso,
let's
the
do
Lasso
that one.
one is the one that dropped today.
My
Yes.
God. Look at her.
Look at that.
Look at her.
Yeah.
God, I love it.
The more I see for this movie, and I was not like, I guess I was trepidatious about a Wonder Woman film. I love Gal and BVS. I'm so excited for this movie. Patty Jenkins wrote this. She did a Q&A all day today, I think, on Twitter, and they're asking like, okay, you speak of Wonder Woman for women, but what about us guys? And she's like, Wonder Woman is just for everyone. I don't have the quote, but she just says like, guys should be just as inspired by Wonder Woman as women are.
Yeah.
She transcends that. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this film on multiple reasons, on multiple levels.
I agree, and I actually tweeted out the other day being like, when the final trailer came out, like, we need this now more than ever.
Yes.
Like, women, this is a victory for us. And you know what my favorite responses were for the men who tweeted back at me being like, this is a victory for us as well. And I loved that. I thought that was really cool. I was like,
can you
you're right, I
imagine
shouldn't have said
Can you
that. It's a
imagine if
victory
there was
for
a
the world.
line in there where some guy goes to touch her and she's like, you do not have the permission to touch me, or something like that, of like, no, this is my body, you can't, like, the sexism that they talk about, like the fact that the Amazons have never had to deal with sexism. They've never dealt with it.
Yeah.
So here she is in this world. Can you imagine, hopefully, the scenes that we'll get a chance to see with Wonder Woman not knowing
Probably
sexism?
confused by it.
Yes, like,
what the hell?
I can't
and
wait.
This international poster was baller too. Honestly,
See, to me, I don't care for that
you
one as much.
I know you don't love when there's not just
I don't like the
gal.
photoshopping.
Yeah, but I thought that it was really cool. I feel like she's leading the fire.
And you got to think of Chris Pine. There's an audience for him. That gets another demographic. It's Chris Pine.
Yeah.
So it's you got to put him on there. But I love like Connie Nielsen and Robin Wright. Like,
Robin Wright, huge
the fact
audience
that
too.
I was just watching House of Cards. I forgot that like she seems so different from this character. Like her character is the greatest Amazon warrior. That's why she trains Diana.
Yeah.
But it's like to see her as Robin Wright in House of Cards and see her on this, I'm like,
Well, then remember
Yeah.
her in
my
Princess Bride. So
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that movie.
it's literally my favorite movie
Not,
ever.
not
I
a
don't-
fan of that movie.
I
Don't
have
my
no
heart.
idea what to say to you right now.
I
How
am
will
not.
we
I
sit
do
next to
not.
each
I
other?
do not. It's kind of like Ghostbusters. I don't get the people's love of it.
What? You don't understand people's love of Princess Bride?
I don't.
When's the last time you saw it?
I don't know, a couple years ago probably.
Hello,
killing
my
me.
name is Amigo
Oh,
Montoya.
oh, I
You
got
killed my
it.
father. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable.
Keep using that word.
Yeah, I know. I know Princess Bride.
mad.
I just don't. I'm sorry, guys. All right,
doesn't
that
mean what
does
you
it
believe it means.
for movie news. But it's more importantly our birthday boys theme song time for
Roxy
Striar.
Striar.
Time for Roxy Striar's
Yeah,
TV
sing
time.
along with me this time.
Roxy Striar's TV time.
She thinks that the flush is fine, both of
DC movie news, it's time to talk. TV
Hey,
time.
brought to you from Ed Bulmer. Happy 40th birthday.
Yeah, happy 40th.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into, we will get to the news first, but I will say that I not only watched Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow this week, but I caught up on the 3 Lucifers that I had missed and the iZombies I was behind on,
do you have
and
so much
Gotham.
time?
So now
How do you have so much time?
I have 0 time. I do not sleep, and I've had strep, so this has been a brutal week. But I told you guys I would catch up, and I felt really guilty the last couple of weeks, so I did. I'm caught up on all of the DC TV shows, so I'm ready to talk about them. But first,
This thing that smacked us in the face this morning.
this smacks us in the face. You've seen it and loved it.
Yes.
We decided to wait for it to
We
watch
waited
it
to watch with you guys.
right
Let's watch.
now. Black Lightning trailer. Let's go. Pretty quick for it to come out, right?
Yeah, well, this
Yeah.
upfronts happened today.
Yeah.
Black Lightning was a savior who kept
gotta
our
talk
streets
during
and our
this?
schools safe.
This is
He was hope personified. But he was also Jefferson
That
Pierce,
music.
I love the music.
my father.
Interesting opening with the daughter.
Take me.
I like that they're doing that perspective
Yeah, me
from
too.
it.
Good song.
You've been on the streets fighting the 100 for years.
The 100.
And the
reference.
100, that's the first reference that we get.
Yeah.
Is that the?
No, not the CW show, the group.
No. This is
From the clutches of my heart that will
The-
forsake me.
You two are all me and your mother have. I love you
I really like
both.
that actor.
He tried
Yeah,
to keep
he's
his
great.
promise to my mother. Said that he saved more lives as the principal of
got so
Garfield
much
High than
charisma.
he ever
I
did
love
as
that they
Black
went
Lightning.
kind of older with him. I love that.
yeah.
But without Black Lightning,
Up until now, the
violence in
100 they
streets
only
by the 100
they only
gang multiplied.
referenced as menacing local gang. So now we know it's officially the 100.
the anger was just under the surface for all of us. The whole
The
city.
2 girls are high
was
school
ready
age,
to
right?
explode.
Yes, they're both in high school,
He could
and
only bury
he
who he
dropped
really
out to
was
be
for
the
so long.
principal and to take care of them so that he
Coming
wouldn't
soon.
City is getting
put
more
himself
and
at
more
risk.
dangerous every moment.
Ooh, they're killing it with the
I'm
music.
just trying to keep you safe.
The shot looked a little arrow
So perfect.
Excuse me? I'm not afraid of the 100. Yes, you should be.
Oh.
Pulling him out of retirement.
Look at that glow.
Now is it
So good.
from the suit?
Did you ignore the
No,
sign?
he has powers.
Okay, I didn't know
But
if they
he just went
decided
out-
to do it
he-
through the suit.
No, he took himself out of retire. He took himself basically out of commission so that he could focus on raising his daughters because he got too close to death and wanted to be there for him. So now they're coming for his family. So he's like, "You brought me back. I'm gonna crush you." Love it.
I
So
love
excited for the show.
This trailer has swag.
You mess with me, my sister, my mother, or the innocent in this city, you're gonna get lit up.
Boom. Now literally.
Dark. It's dark trailer.
Sent you a car? Yeah. It was nice.
Boom.
Hashtag Black Lightning's back.
Sometimes I can come off a little overprotective.
Yes, you.
I think it's
All
smart
right.
ending with
Now,
that
I
little-
was on board from the beginning with this, but we now need to discuss. This is not part of the CW Arrow, Flash, Legends, Supergirl
called the
universe.
Arrowverse.
The Arrowverse. It's not part of it, and I'm very. My first thought was, okay, this was originally on CBS, I believe, or Fox, and they passed. So it was developed already.
So was Supergirl on CBS.
Right, but this was developed for, and again, Supergirl was not part of the Arrowverse at the time at CBS. It never existed in that universe.
Even when it was there, they had talked about. Oh, well, did they say they were never going to do a crossover?
I don't think they ever talked. I don't know. I can't.
They
but,
didn't say never.
But I think that it did switch to CW, and I wonder if the pilot and everything was already written with that train of thought in mind. So that's why they're saying nope, it's a separate thing. I think that's a mistake. I think this character would work great with those others. I think it needs to be
But
incorporated.
do you think
in.
it should be the same Earth
Absolutely.
as Supergirl or as Arrow?
As Arrow. It just fits in with the Legends and the Flash people. Like see him see him with Flash. That's such a good dynamic. Like, and he's blue collar. I love these blue collar. He's not a scientist. He's not, he's just this blue collar dad trying to do the right thing with his daughters.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that blue collar aspect of him. It's a principle. It's like that. We don't have that in the Arrowverse. That kind of.
He
guy.
said, this is coming from CW President Mark, I always meant Petowitz, says, we do not aim to do a 5-way crossover. Black Lightning at this time is not part of the Arrowverse. It's a separate situation. He did add that there will be a big fourth quarter crossover with all the shows that are on in the fall. So the ones that
And
we've
because
seen.
he says at this time, I almost think that that's a good thing. That maybe it's like hey, we
Supergirl.
have
Well, let it
we have
develop
a set
itself.
idea of
Yeah.
this. Yeah, we want to make sure that we get it established, and then later on, maybe we can incorporate more of that. Because I feel like if you bring in the Flash, you're going to add a more humor
for me,
aspect.
It's a joy of the multiverse. The fact that he can
But-
be on any Earth and we could go over there.
But I get that. But I just wanted to be like, hey, his daughters have get coffee at CC Jitters. Not the same one as the Flash, but it's like their Starbucks.
chain?
It's a chain, a Big Belly Burger.
Yeah.
Let it. You can exist in the DC universe. You don't have to be with those other shows, but let it exist.
Remember, there's on the Earth that Jesse Quick was from. There's a Big Belly Burger also on the poster.
I
on
think
the
we're
wall,
getting
so.
too far into the different worlds if we do go that way. I just want to see those characters interact eventually.
I think we will see them interact
I think we will see it
eventually.
eventually.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
it's just going to be that they're going to let this kind of
it's got to get
stand
its
on
feet
own
going. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
first.
But I hear
I
you.
think that's a good thing. And
hear you.
considering, I'm excited they finally announced the gang is going to now be the one that's been
100.
tied into
Okay.
before the Suicide Slum area. They were kind of like
Fair
holding
enough.
that. So we've seen them
Yeah.
with Superman, Halo, Black Lightning before. So now.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very
it's gonna
cool.
be cool.
All right. So overall, fun with the trailer. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the trailer.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little TV this week, shall we?
Go for it.
Okay. Starting with Mondays. Mondays we have Supergirl and Gotham. I don't know if you guys are caught up on anything. So
I'm
just
not
chime
caught
in.
up.
Chime
Nope.
in
I
if
will
you have
chime in
anything
though when I
to
want
say.
to chime in.
Yeah.
Now, Flash was
Which
not
is
the
now.
finale though, right?
No.
Okay. So
We have one more week on these DC
are they killing
CW
someone, or
TV
did they just kill
shows.
someone that's massive?
So, all right, here's the
'Cause
deal.
I didn't see it,
cannot,
but I heard.
cannot do TV time without giving spoilers this week. So, sign off now because the rest of the show will consist of spoilers.
Boom.
I'm so sorry to the two of you where I'm about to spoil all
No,
this.
you're okay. I don't need.
I'm so
with
sorry.
The TV shows, they don't bother me.
You can plug your ears, maybe.
I might.
Okay. I'll try to be as non-spoilery as possible. Supergirl's fine. You're fine with Supergirl. Supergirl was a girl power episode.
Okay.
This episode rocked the girl power so much that they actually said like multiple times, "Go women, go females,
Okay.
girl power." And I got a lot of tweets being like, "Enough of the feminazis rubbing it in our face." And I was like, just unfollow me now.
It's called Supergirl.
Just unfollow me now.
It's Supergirl.
Yeah, it was an awesome. I loved this week's episode. It was definitely very strong with the female powers because we got Callista Flockhart who came back, and then she's dealing with Rhea. So we've got Terry Hatcher there. We've also got Lena Luthor, and we've got Supergirl, and they're all kind of
Why
discussing
would people be bitching about
Alex
all the
and
hot
Maggie.
Like, I don't mean hot, I mean, like,
I
just
think
beautiful-
they just didn't like. They were like, they're rubbing it in our face that it's woman power. It's like every day it's rubbed in my face that there's man power. So why can't whatever? So
my
people
head
had
hurts
issues with it.
sometimes from the internet.
I loved that episode. Gotham this week. this show is really, really good. I know I keep saying this, but this show has gotten really, really interesting. I love Poison Ivy now. I never thought that I would love this grown-up version of Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy has now teamed up with Penguin, and it's making for a really interesting dynamic. And also, this part's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but what's going on with Selena Kyle and with Poison Ivy is interesting. I'm curious to see what happens.
Does Selena Kyle, does she keep dying, and then on her 9th die, she's going to be reincarnated as an adult Selena Kyle? Is that how they're going to bring Selena Kyle into this world? Because they seem to be doing that with everyone.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying it's a show called with all the Gotham villains, and there's no Batman, and they're all adult villains now, and it's...
You don't watch, so...
I just don't understand the concept of the
Yep.
show. I don't understand it.
Cats have 9 lives.
Oh, I know that. That's why I was going with
and
that.
She's about to use her second one. So.
I just gave them the way that they can keep aging her up when they dies.
It was only Poison Ivy that they aged up.
Well, they're going to do this to Selena. Now watch. Someone's going to take that idea. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay. Tuesday, Flash. This is where the spoiler comes in.
Close your ears.
All right. Here's how I'll phrase it then to try to not... If you watched, I wonder if it sticks. I wonder if it sticks.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I know who you're saying.
How
so
are
that's
we
what I
going to
think
do
so.
this? I wonder if it sticks. Unbelievable episode. I call every week after, I call my brother and sister and I compare notes.
Oh.
And they thought it was whatever. And I'm kind of confused by that.
You and I are like that a lot on Flash episodes. Like,
Yeah.
you love the Kevin Smith. You love the Kevin Smith with the kind of the dreamy version, and I did not care for that
did.
one. Yeah,
The dinosaur episode.
Yeah.
I loved this episode. Curious to see your thoughts. I thought it was amazing. And I we'll see. I have a theory on how they're going to reverse something.
I think with the Flash, you can always.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
And I will say this, that I think that the invention. Okay, so he's feeling.
I love this like Rubik's
feeling-
Cube version
he's
thing of like,
feeling
how
really-
can I not do
There
this?
was a character this episode that was feeling really sorry for himself, but something that he invented, I feel like, is the way that this doesn't stick. Let's see if you guys catch what I'm saying here. If not, I'll tweet it out to you later. All right, moving on. iZombie also aired. Sometimes I would go ahead and say that this is my favorite DC TV show.
You definitely are that champion for it.
Yeah, this week was so cool. What's going on with the cure, not knowing whether Liv's going to be able to take it, who stole it, what's happening. A lot is going on there. And with Major now not actually being a zombie, it's only a matter of time before he gets caught. So there's a lot of drama, Mike. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Arrow. Arrow was a good week too. It was good. I like Arrow.
Arrows this season has definitely got its back on track.
Yeah. I was even kind of okay with the flashbacks this week, which I never say. So that was cool. Oliver really suffered a lot. And I'm obsessed with Adrian Chase. And it was a big Adrian Chase episode again. So
Yeah,
I love seeing him. He's very talented and scary. And Lucifer, which has come back. I'm sorry I didn't watch the previous episodes. A lot of you guys didn't love this thing that they did with God. What they did with God this week, they brought back, like, they were pretending like his dad had come back to Earth, but really it was a guy who you're made to believe has a mental illness, but then he doesn't have a mental illness. He actually has powers, and it's all because of this belt that he's wearing. It was kind of a weird storyline. I thought it was interesting because of how we ended and where Lucifer's mindset is, but I know a lot of you guys didn't love the episode, and I kind of see where you're coming from, but in general, Lucifer is pretty kick-ass too. That's all I have to say there.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's TV time.
I think that brings us in.
Oh my God. Thank you so much in the chat, Alex, for just saying Manu.
What happened there? Oh, my.
Manu Bennett.
The swerve, the whole with him and Guggenheim was like the back and forth. We thought, oh, are they really mad at each other?
We saw his...
He's back.
He's not just his voice.
It's him.
He's there.
I think this was a...
What?
Remember, because you and I were talking about this. We were like, oh, are they having problems? Did they not like each other? Because there was a very combative
Back
tweeting.
and
But
forth.
I think it was like a Guggenheim saying, hey, he's here. But on that one episode, it was just his voice. And now he's back. I think it was playful. I mean, Guggenheim and that role kind of put Manu Bennett back in the zeitgeist. I loved him from Spartacus.
Yeah.
But it was Arrow that really put him out there. Mm-hmm. So there's
there
got
was
to
that
be a
weird-
thankfulness there to Guggenheim and everyone at Arrow for that.
Maybe they're just hyping up the show.
I think they
don't
were.
know.
I think now looking back at the time, I thought, oh, this is not friendly. This is not nice. But then it's like I think they were two buddies having some fun with all of us. Yeah.
In the chat, Never R. Williams says, TV time thoughts on the schedule change for the fall. Honestly, I have to be perfectly frank with you guys. I don't know about the fall schedule. What's changing over?
I think it's Flash and
yeah.
Legends are on the same night.
I do know about this. We're moving one of the shows from Monday to Thursday.
Is it Flash and Legends or Supergirl
I don't know,
and Legends
but
are
one
on
of
the
the
same
DC
night?
shows was moving to Thursday, and I was happy about that because my Thursday show was Powerless, and Powerless is not here.
I wanted one DC show a night. That's what I want. I want it to be one DC show on the CW network a night.
Okay.
That's what I hope for.
Because they're used to.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right.
But anyway, I think that's about it. But I do want to say this, guys. If you're out there, fans, if you're
Arrow's moving to Thursday
Injustice 2, it is phenomenal. I am not even into the story. I played it for 2 days now, and I'm just doing this whole gear system. If you guys are watching this, you know what I'm talking about. It is so addictive. The multiverse, playing in the multiverse to try and get different gear so I can have Robin without a hood and Batman with different gauntlets. I'm stunned. _/indie. That's my PlayStation name. So if you guys want to play, I know I found some of you guys already out there.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah. It was back when I was a stunt double in Orlando at this stunt show.
Cool.
But that's where I got that from. But I'd love to play with you guys. I'm having a blast with this. It's interesting because a lot of people are having a little problem with the story, the reviewers, because they're saying it's so dark. And I was like, I kind of love it. Superman is kind of a despot, and it's definitely takes after the first game, and I don't know what they want, but it's the cinematics are beautiful. It's DC. It's
dark
phenomenal.
Dark is good sometimes.
And so far, surprisingly, Black Canary is my favorite character. She's such a
Why
great.
is that surprising?
She's my favorite
Because I would never.
I love her.
Hold on, I would have of this entire roster. I would have put probably Batman, Green Lantern, who I love. Black Canary is such a great. Her fighting is she's such a close combat fighter. I'm not saying for the character in comics or anything. I'm saying as a fighter. I'm like she has no real power. She's her sonic scream, okay, but her style that she fights is so awesome. She's so great. She's my favorite so far.
Cool.
Yeah. So play it, guys. Reach out to me. Let's play. Let's kick some ass. See each other. I don't know.
Love it.
That's all I gotta say. We're out. Wonder Woman in 3 weeks now? 3 weeks from tonight?
Hopefully sooner. We gotta get.
I know. We got. If anyone watches that it has connections with WB, we have our kind of connections we've reached out to.
Yeah,
hopefully, as we get closer, we will start hearing stuff.
Yep.
But I don't know. That's it, guys. Ladies, put yourselves over. Where can we find you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Elena Jordan and on Instagram at that Elena Jordan girl.
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar.
And you guys can find me on PlayStation at stunt/indie and Instagram and Twitter at Mike Kalinowski. Guys, it's been great. Thanks for letting us just rant and rave and love DC with you guys every week. I'm sorry I'm not here as often as I was for a little while there. Work has just been good, which is good.
It's good.
But I always try to be here for you guys, and I love talking to you guys on Twitter.
They kept asking what you were filming, and we kept saying we couldn't tell them.
I don't know if I could say it yet.
Okay. All right.
I'll say when it's about ready to air, I will definitely reach out to you guys.
Tweet about it.
Yes, I will. Guys, have a great weekend. Be nice
love
to
you
each other
guys.
out there.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Kristian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.